everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. I can't believe it's Tuesday. I also can't believe it's August. I don't know how this happened, but here we are. It is Tech Tip Tuesday. Hi, Barb.
I have a tech tip.
What's that, Barb?
Try not to fix your machine with duct tape.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a solid tip.
Okay.
Yeah, come see your tech if you need duct tape to hold your machine together.
Right.
Thanks, Barb. A couple things. Hi, guys. Tuesday. I have a couple tech tips. I'm going to give you guys a whole bunch of information about our free motion quilting week. I'm just going to make sure you guys are ready for stitching tomorrow. Give everybody else a chance to grab a quilt kit if they want one, and then we'll go for it. This week is a free motion quilt along. We're going to make sure you have all the tools you need so you can actually join us and quilt along. So that great panel there is what we're going to be quilting this week. The way we're going to run this is how to move through the quilt panel is not going to change no matter what machine you're on, but we're going to show you guys quilting on a domestic machine, a mid-arm, and a full frame machine. So no matter what your setup is at home, you'll be able to join us in free motion quilts. So the panel, if you still want to pick it up, so you're welcome to get that panel. Dawn did have some of those kitted up with batting as well, and we're going to quilt through those blocks and show you how to move through this and gain some long arm or free motion quilting skills. But to do all of that, you might need the right setup in your sewing room. So a couple things right out of the gate that are going to make your life much easier when you're quilting. If you have never tried them before, I would highly suggest some quilting gloves of some sort. What they do for you is they allow you to, I'm going to pull this quilt sandwich in front of me here. So as you're free motion quilting, if you're trying to move your fabric and keep your hand nice and relaxed, the tendency as you quilt is to get tenser and tenser and tenser trying to grip your fabric. And really little pieces of fabric, less likely to happen, but a big bulky quilt, you're going to be drawing a lot of your power and energy and probably causing all sorts of tension through your neck and your back and your shoulders. So quilting gloves they're grippy on the ends, and they're going to help grip your fabric for you so that you don't have to work so hard. So that's one thing you could do. If you're quilting in mid-August and you're way too hot for that, there's other ways of holding your fabric. Handy Quilter is mostly a long arm and mid-arm company, but they make these fun things called sweet spots. I'm sure Barb will demo those in the mix somewhere here, but they fit in the palm of your hand and are grippy on the bottom. More space to quilt will help hold up the weight of your quilt. Paddles is another one by Handy Quilter, and they're bigger. So depending if you like the little puck-sized ones or if you want more of a full hand size gripper ring. The Gypsy Quilter makes a ring that works in a similar fashion, and then it will go around your needle there, like you can see in the photo. And just because there's not enough toys that do almost all the same thing, but everyone's slightly different, Bernina and Martelli teamed up for these gripper rings, and they come in two sizes, which the smaller one will work okay on your domestics, but the bigger one will work mighty well on a mid-arm. So same thing, they've got grippies on the bottom that's going to grip to your fabric for you. So we'll talk about those more as the week goes on and show you where and when and how you might want to use those. And as we were setting up our video today, I ran out of the room for a moment because I remembered the other things that you might have or you might not have. I usually base my quilts the quick and easy way with Otif's 505 temporary adhesive spray. So then I would use this to hold the backing fabric onto the batting and the quilt top onto the batting. And you don't need a whole ton to hold your quilt together, but it will make moving that bulky sandwich as one unit a little easier. Some of the quilt police might say, oh, never use 505, only pin. So we do sell safety pins if the 505 spray bothers you, or you just don't want to use spray glue. Everybody's different. We do sell quilting pins. They come in a big bag, so you have lots. Approximately 0.4 of a pound. I have no idea how many pins that is, but it's a whole bunch. And then so that you don't absolutely destroy your fingers while you're clipping and unclipping that many pins, there's a tool for that called the quick clip. So this will let you hook and unhook your pins much easier without having to get your fingers in there and destroy them. Other things you might need is a proper foot for free motion quilting on your machine. So in most brands of machines, there is, well, that's not going to come easily out of the package either. What would traditionally be called a darning foot is what we're going to be using for your free motion quilting. And what the feet do when you're free motion quilting is, instead of holding the fabric hard down on your feed dogs, they're spring loaded, and they're going to hop up and down and let your quilt move easily underneath. So depending what brand of machine you have, you might have one or two options for this. You might only have one option that will fit your machine. If you happen to have a Bernina, there's like 9 options. There's a lot of options in Bernina land for free motion quilting feet. I actually don't have all of them back here. But there's number 9, number 26, number 24 is an open toe foot, 43, 29C, 72, 73, 74, coming for the old style Berninas. So these aren't all spring loaded, but they do glide over the fabric just the way they're built. So lots and lots of options if you have a Bernina. And when you start to pick a foot on your Bernina for this, I would pick the one that you like the visibility in, because they're all a little bit different. Brother-wise, there's, this is a closed toe quilting foot from Brother, SA 129. And then if you don't have a walking foot or a 1/4 inch piecing foot, Brother also does a quilting accessory set that has the SA 129, Kathy, the BSR as well for Bernina. So that's number 42 technically. SA 125 is a 1/4 inch piecing foot, and then the walking foot with the seam guide. So this gives you a whole bunch of options, and its part number is SAQ kit. If you search that, that would be how you find that with us. And then we also sell Bernette, and we don't mention Bernette a lot in our videos because things that Bernina has, Bernette has as well. But the newer Bernettes, some of them have feet sets. So the B37, B38 has a quilting foot set. So usually if you can get feet in a set, they're more economical than buying them all individually later on. But there is a straight stitch foot, so that'll be a 1/4 inch foot, a ditch foot. This one will be a 1/4 inch with a guide. A hopping foot, so that's your free motion quilting foot, and your walking foot, and a seam guide. So even on your more basic machines, you can do this. You can free motion quilt on any machine. There's workarounds for everything. So if you haven't joined us for long and you've got one of these Bernettes, that's the quilting foot set. Or you can get just the free motion feet for most of the Bernettes on their own. And with the Bernettes, you'll just need to make sure you buy the right foot for your model number. So there's a couple different options. Giant range in prices between things. But you've got some options. And every brand has something that will allow you to free motion quilt. So don't feel like, even if you've got an old an old Singer or an old Kenmore that you won't be able to do this. Some of the brother feet might fit your machine. Some of the brunette feet might fit. The other thing, you might need thread to quilt with. And my suggestion as a practice quilt is to find thread that either blends really well with the fabric you're using, or to get something really, really bold so you can see what you did. But probably get something that blends. But there's no right or wrong answer as to whether you're quilting with cotton or polyester. Again, that's a quilt police thing. We'll tell you, oh, you made a cotton quilt, you need to quilt with polyester or with cotton thread. You don't. Quilt with whatever will make your quilt happy and make you happy as you're quilting. Here in the store on our long arms, we for the most part run Isacord embroidery thread. It comes in 400 colors, which allows us to pick just the right color for your quilt. So Isacord embroidery thread, I love to quilt with it. It's really, really pretty when it's done. It's got a little bit of a sheen. So, and tension's going to be really consistent across colors. So no mucking around with any of that. If you are more into quilting with cotton thread, because that's what you've always done, we carry a couple different ones. This is Presentia on a gray spool. So this is a 50 weight. Comes in lots and lots of colors. Oh no, that's a 60 weight on a gray spool. Most of the 60 weights are on a pink spool now, but not all of them. Confetti is another cotton thread and comes in great big cones. So if you know this is a color you're going to use lots and lots of, that is one that you could grab. There's Master Quilter is a quilting polyester. So it also designed to free motion quilt with. Sometimes variegated threads are lots of fun. So don't feel like you need special thread to quilt. I would say pick the thread that makes your project happy. I've quilted quilts with 50 weight cotton on the front and an 80 weight bobbin thread on the back because the 80 weight bobbin thread was the right color. So yeah, don't be afraid of experimenting with threads as you practice your quilting, or do all your quilting with the weird color spool of thread that you don't know why you bought it in the first place. And the other thing you'll probably want that I totally forgot to grab is quilting specific needles. My preference is usually to go bigger in size than you normally would for regular sewing. Needles have flex, so as you're free motion quilting, your needle's going to be flexing away from the hook, and a bigger needle will have less bend in it because it's just more metal. So supreme sliders, extension tables for the bed of your machine, anything to keep the weight of your quilt moving smoothly will make your quilting experience happier. So get your goodies rounded up. We are quilting tomorrow. And all the things we talk about quilting wise all week might be a little bit machine specific, but the tips and tricks for moving through free motion quilting a panel are going to apply no matter where you're working. And I think that is all the official techie things for today. You need some quilting supplies beyond the panel. You'll probably need some batting. But this is a good place to practice, and I'm excited for you guys to join us. Cool. And tomorrow, we're free motion quilting. Yay! So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us, man. Thank you, Sandy. It's Michael. Hi, Michael. I think he's trying to take his wife home. Okay, thanks, guys. Be safe. Be kind. Be safe. Be calm. And there's so much isolating we can do this week and every week. So, saying goodbye, Anne. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us.